when we get that wobbly point. The beginning of the year, I was speaking at a conference in Delhi, and I got on the plane. As I was about to get on the plane, I had my passport and my boarding pass in my hand. And I was standing in the queue. I love flying. I love traveling. I love speaking. I love my job. This doesn't make me nervous in any way, shape, or form. But standing in that queue, I suddenly had a wobbly point. It was like somebody hit the fire alarm, and I started to experience those feelings that you were feeling. My eyes were wide, my heart rate went up, my skin was all hot and cold and clammy, and I started to think this could escalate into a panic attack. Sometimes we have anxiety spikes for no reason. What do we do in the moment? I didn't have time to go for a run or a counselling session. What I needed to do was something really, really quick, and so I do this thing called feet, fuel, whānau. Just really quick, feet, fuel, whānau. The first one is to move as quickly as you can. I got out of the queue and I just went for a little walk. I just had to pace. You know, sometimes when you feel quite wound up, you just want to pace around. If you're at work, if you're at school, just finding a reason. Is it okay? Can I go and get a drink? Can I just go and get, finding a reason just to get out and move your body. All that energy will store itself up. And I'm not talking in a woo-woo weird way. It goes somewhere and it will store itself up and it will start to feel we need to get that out of our body and move. If you've had a tough day at school or a tough day at work or a tough day at home, the next possible opportunity, do some exercise. Just go out for a walk. Just go out for a wander. If you can do some sport or something, go out there and move that body hard. Get it moving. If you aren't able to do that, just going for a little walk or just sitting down and doing some exercises is going to really, really help. The second one is to fuel. Sometimes in the moment, we need a bit of distraction. Sometimes we just need a little bit of a drink or a sip, sometimes a warm cup of tea. It will slow down your breathing because you're like, you're going to like calm down and focus on the drink. Sometimes we need a little bit of a snack. Sometimes we get low blood sugar and that adds to the pressure and the stress. Does anyone get hangry? You get so hungry you get angry? Yeah, my niece is like this. We have to throw food at her when she gets a bit cranky. So, but just having a little bit of a moment, having a little bit of a brain break. Take a time for yourself. And the third one is whānau, and that is to tell your jelly buddy. Now, what is a jelly buddy? A jelly buddy is our next grabbable word. All right, just trying to get that off there. Is to get yourself a jelly buddy. Now, jelly buddy is a person that you have pre-planned to be there for you and with you on your wobbly days. On the day is not the day because stressed out brains are offline brains. On a stressed out wobbly day, you will not make a new friendship. I can guarantee you that. You need to have this conversation in advance. The reason you're here today is because we can talk about this in advance. Now, I've made some cards to make it easier. And on the card, it says, hey, jelly buddy, check in, hang out, get help. This is somebody that you trust who has permission to speak into your world, or you have permission to reach out to them. Does that make sense? Now, some people say, I don't want to call a jelly buddy, that sounds lame. Call it the concrete club, I don't care. Just do it. You need someone in your world who can be that. Now, I've told my jelly buddies, because they know that when I get under pressure, I retreat. I tuck back into myself and I start saying no to things I'd normally say yes to. So if they turn up and be like, oh, do you want to hang out? I'll be like, nah, I'm fine. And they know that that's not what I really mean. Because on the good days, we've already had this conversation. And I've said to them, you need to keep pushing. You have permission. So I've said to them, you can turn up at my house anytime, night or day. If I don't answer the door, break a window. And if the cops turn up, show them your jelly buddy card. I guarantee this will stand up in a court of law. I do not guarantee this will stand up in a court of law, by the way, but you get the point. Have someone in your world that you have prearranged to be there for you on your wobbly days.